This is real footage of me trying to be the best step parent I know how to be. Struggling, falling, getting back up, running, even when I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing. Let's be honest, step parent, it's not for the faint of heart. It's messy, it's beautiful, it's complicated. Hello you guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Aja, and on this channel we talk about life, love, and everything in between. Today's topic is real and it's emotional and it's close to home, okay? I want to share with you the 5 things that I wish that I knew before I became a step parent. So if this is something that you are interested in, please continue watching. All right, so before I get into it, I want to give you a little perspective about our family dynamics. When me and my husband met, I had 2 kids and he had 3 kids, okay? And we were both single parents. So we have fell so deep in love. It was like we had both been hit by Cupid, okay? Listen, we were inseparable. We were dating. I mean, like, I don't know if I went 5 minutes without communicating with him. We were just so much in love. We were like little bitty teenagers, okay? So all of the serious conversation about like kids and family and stuff like that was not even a conversation because we were just so drawn to each other and we were just living in the moment and just loving on each other. And and there was a lot of love going on, okay? And we were so happy that we found each other. So when we sat down, and said, okay, we're going to blend our family, it wasn't even a hard conversation because we went into it assuming, hey, we love each other. The kids are going to love each other. We are going to be happy and we are going to go into the future, like the new Brady Bunch, okay? But the thing is that when it comes to blended families, sometimes it's not so cookie cutter, okay? So today we're going to break down the 5 things that I wish that I knew as a first-time step parent. Okay, so the first thing is love does not always mean acceptance, okay? So what this means is that, like, you can pour into your stepchildren so much. You can treat them like your own children. You can do everything for them. You can show them the way. You can teach them everything that you ever knew and that you were teaching your own children. But that does not mean that they will accept you, okay? And the reason is because they have loyalty to their biological parent, okay? So this is something that's hard because when you think about it in terms of, hey, I take care of them, I do everything, I'm there for them. Kids don't even think about that kind of stuff. They have this nature about them, where they love their parents, and the thought of somebody else trying to maybe take that role, is scary, and it takes time to build that trust, okay? So when I came into our situation, that's how I wanted to be. I wanted to be loving, be caring, be kind, and I wanted to show them that, I was there for them in that type of way. But the thing is, initially it was not accepted because they were still mourning, dealing with their parents' separation. So the fact of the matter is that kids do not always warm up to their step parents right away, okay? They are mourning and they need time, and they are grieving the family that they once had. What I want you to take away from this is that it's not personal, that it's a human reaction to change. The next thing that I want to discuss is having your partner's support, okay? This is the most important thing about having this structured family dynamic. You can love your partner with all your heart, and you could be in heavenly bliss with them every single day. Trust me, I know. But if you guys are not a team when it comes to parenting, it's gonna be rough. If you guys are not a team when it comes to parenting, it's gonna be rough. Before I became a step parent, I was a single parent, so I was dealing with my children on my own. So I didn't need to check in with somebody else about decisions and about things that the kids wanted to do and whatnot. So this was a very new thing for me, as well as my husband. He has not had to check in with another parent in years. So when we decided that this is what we wanted to do, we knew that there was going to be a lot of change, not just for the kids, but for us too, and how we communicated with each other about the kids. Some things to focus on is discipline. How do you want to discipline your children? Some people might be the old school, whip out a belt type of discipline. Some people are the new school, the gentle parenting. Some people are a kind of mixture of in between, so you have to find that happy space when it comes to parenting and thrive in that space. The kids need the structure as well as the parents. Boundaries needs to be set. Communication styles need to be set. Rules for the family needs to be set. Overall, you and your partner need to be aligned completely. You need to be a united front. The kids should not know that there's any turmoil, if there is, about parenting, okay? Because they will use that for their advantage. Stay on the same page with your partner and you will be just fine. The next thing that I want to discuss is let the kids know that you are not trying to replace their biological parent. Now, in my situation, I didn't initially go in that way. This was an important thing for me to learn because for me, I didn't have a mother. So I needed someone to, replace that void for me growing up. So that's kind of how I walked into being a step parent. But my stepkids, they have their biological mother. So I had to learn that I wasn't there to replace her. I had to kind of let them know that I was here to support. I'm not here to be nobody's friend, but I'm just here to support them, and love them the best way that I can. Being a step parent means that you just show up with humility, okay? So if you look at it like this, you're the bonus adult in their life, when I finally embraced that mindset, I just felt like this pressure was off of me. Like I did not have to no longer stress about being genuine and, having that close-knit relationship, because I knew that over time that it would grow as long as I stayed in this mindset. The next thing that I want to talk about is boundaries. Boundaries. Okay, listen, you guys, my husband pounds me with this because I have an issue with setting boundaries for the kids. I just kind of let them, they ask me for something, I'm just kind of yeah, go ahead. And he's like, no, you need to say no. You're not trying to please them. You're the parent. And you're the adult in a situation. And sometimes as a step parent, we could just want to spoil them to death because we think that that's what they need. And that's what they want, to keep them happy. But that's not the case. So you need to set boundaries. They need to know that you're an adult and, they need to respect you and respect your space. So this was one that, I am currently still struggling on, but I have came a long ways from this. I have came a long ways from where I was in the beginning of our journey together. With setting boundaries, we just need to know, the kids need to know what's okay and what's not okay, because at the end of the day, they were not raised up from infants with you, so they don't know how you do things, and they don't understand the way that you do things like your own children. They know that you like things a certain way and whatnot. And every kid in every household is different, and you have to keep that in mind. The fifth thing that I want to discuss is time, you guys. It takes time to build that relationship, okay? Because just like the saying, Rome was not built in a day. This is real life. This is not a movie where, there's always this, happy ending and whatnot. No, you have to work hard at this, okay? And it sometimes, depending on the child, it may take longer. And if they have, maybe a toxic parent in their life that's, telling them bad things about you or whatever the case is, that could present additional challenges. But don't worry about that, because all of that will smooth over in time. But the bottom line is that sometimes it could take years, okay? For me and my kids, it as far as to build that relationship, I'm gonna say it took about a year to really get that foundation, because the kids, they were really struggling, with my space, like, with their dad being married, and then we had additional kids. I mean, it was a lot. For me, my children, they never saw me and their father together. We divorced way back when they were babies. My son was 4 years old at the time, so they never had that dynamic of seeing us. So there was nothing to mourn for them. But for my husband's kids, it was different. They were married. They had their family structure and everything. So the kids took it really hard when they weren't together anymore. Some days you're gonna feel like you're getting it all wrong. Like, this is not a story where I can tell you that things are completely perfect and everybody is kumbaya, because that is not the case all the time. Just like with any other task, progress, it doesn't look pretty all the time, and I just want to stress that if you are in a situation where you don't understand your role, and you have kids that you just feel like you are not getting through to, just kind of look back and just stop in your tracks and take a breath. Take a breath. I've been there. And just know that it takes time. So you guys, we have discussed the 5 things that I wish that I knew before I became a step parent. Because step parenting, you guys, is deep. It's hard. And I have been in very deep places about my kids, because I hate the word step parent. These are my kids. Like, I gave birth to them. This is how I feel, But kids don't always feel that way initially. So we have to be patient with them, because it will stress you out in ways that you never imagined possible. And the thing is that, you love your spouse and you want to be with them. And sometimes, things dealing with the kids could get in the way of that. So you have to stay strong, and just remember that, the kids will grow up one day and they're going to move out, and it's just going to be you and your spouse. And, you have to determine, are you going to be happy? Or are you going to be full of resentment because of some parenting stuff 20 years ago, So we have to pick and choose our battles when it comes to family dynamics. Step parenting is hard, but it's also very rewarding, because you have more kids that love you. And more kids that help take care of you in your older age. So if you are a step parent or thinking about becoming a step parent, drop a comment, let me know, share your story with me, and let me know how you have dealt with being a step parent. Let's support each other, because I know that it's hard, you guys, and I don't have all the answers. I've just figured out a few different things. But if you have any questions about anything that I discussed, just let me know and I will get back to you. Thank you all for watching. I see you. We got this. You got this, okay? Bye-bye for now.